Hey everyone, good to see you guys again. First video of the new year. So excited to get things going here for you guys with some more college basketball content overall. I do apologize that I have not made any videos really related to college basketball in a couple weeks. I'll break it down why here in just a moment, but I hope you guys had a great new year. Sorry, fixing the camera there last second. There we go. Looks a little better, but yeah, hope you guys had a great new year. Started off the year very well. I know I did. Ready to get in some more great content for you guys here on this channel with college basketball especially. Yeah, it looks like my audio is really spiking up too. We'll fix that as we go along. Basically though, yeah, the overall basketball season has been quite something this year. And the last couple of weeks, COVID's really been just causing all kinds of problems. Postponements, canceled games, so yeah, it's been hard to really follow things. That's why I kind of took a break from it. That's a lot of the reason why I did too. So, not getting into it now. Who's really looking to kind of sharpen things as we get closer to March Madness? We're only 2 months away from conference tournaments, so about 2 months and like a week from that time. So, who are we going to start seeing as pretenders and whatnot? So let's go ahead and get into it. Again, like I say before, I use the ESPN Bracketology. You go to ESPN.com for it. Joe Lenardi does it. He updated today. This is the first official one of the new year, so let's go ahead and get to it. Now, in my opinion, there is no dominant team. I know Baylor is undefeated, but in my opinion, they're just not the dominant team. They've been coming to the skin of their teeth in the last couple of games. I kind of look at some current scores here in just a moment to see what's going on, but Baylor's number one overall seed. Pardon me, Michigan would be the first team out. Michigan's looked like a disaster this year. UCF beat Michigan, then they turn around and lose SMU. Don't even ask me. I'm not big on Central Florida. Let's just get that out there. On the bubble teams we have in the last four byes, Florida, they have a big game, I think tonight or tomorrow against Alabama. Are they going to get back on track with being one of the better teams they're supposed to be in the SEC? Mississippi State, what in the hell have they done lately for us? Oh, they beat Arkansas. You want a cookie for that? I mean, Mississippi State's been disappointing. They don't deserve to be in the bracketology, in my opinion. IU, what is going on with IU now? They're losing to Pitt. They lost to Penn State. Virginia Tech, I think Virginia Tech's a little bit better than some people think. St. Mary's, last four in. Creighton, Davidson, UCF. First four out, Michigan, Memphis, Belmont, St. Bonaventure. Memphis turns around and loses to I think it was Tulane. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Oh my gosh, Memphis is just... I'm sorry, sick of trying to look at this team. St. Bonaventure's offense at times has looked really whack. Next four out, Clemson, TCU, Wake Forest, and Florida State. Florida State and Wake Forest do have a game tonight. That is going to set the bar for the ACC play. ACC's been weak this year, man. They've been a lot weaker than I thought they were going to be. But let's go ahead and kind of dive right into who's kind of where. Your one seeds have changed. Kansas and Purdue have swapped in the Midwest. SMU, San Diego State, and Louisiana Lafayette, VTech, Ohio, all new on the list in the bottom half. Top half, we do have Abilene Christian back on. St. Louis, first time on the list this year. Abilene Christian dips to Texas. Remember that. I think Abilene Christian's a little dangerous. They do have a really good defense, but we will see. Real quick, before I do go into any further, the overall look any further, I do want to look up current scores real quick of these games because there's a couple games going on right now that are important and I want to look at real quick before we get into the meat of the video. So, alright, what do we got here? Last time I checked, LSU is up by 2 on Kentucky. If it loads any faster, it'd be nice. When I run OBS, this thing gets real slow. I don't know why. It's annoying. Very annoying. But while that's loading up, we'll go ahead and get to the picks. In the South region, we got Baylor winning the first game. No shock. I got 8th seed Loyola over 9th seed BYU. Loyola Chicago, will they make another run? It's possible. They got decent. It's going to be interesting. I'll take LSU over St. Louis, although I'm not buying LSU this year right now, and they're kind of getting on Kentucky there. Let's see what happened. Did they win? Oh wow, Marquette's beating Providence, huh? Wake Forest dominated Florida State. Oh my goodness. Wow. Unfreaking real. Well, Florida State's got a lot of problems. Let's just say that. LSU beat Kentucky. Wow. It's just one of those things. I'm not shocked. LSU wanted to get back on track. It's a good win by LSU, but I'm not totally on them. We'll see. Houston. Seriously, I did this again. My bad. Houston, huge loss. Marcus Sasser done for the year. That just spells all kinds of trouble for Houston. I think they can win the first round, but I'm not taking them much farther than that. 6 Yukon, 11 UAB. UAB could make an upset in the tournament. They do look pretty good. I think a healthy Yukon team is really good, but they still got to get healthy. I don't know. When is Sanogo coming back? I haven't heard anything about him as of late. 3 Auburn versus 14 Navy. I did not ask you to move over to the right like that. Thank you. Auburn, personally, this is my thing. A lot of you are going to be like, oh, please. Listen, Auburn's a great team. I just don't like the vibe of Bruce Pearl. He's been in some trouble lately, of course, as we know. He had the 2-game suspension a couple weeks ago. He was the reason why Auburn couldn't play in the tournament this past tournament. I think Auburn, it could hit him. It could hurt him in March, in my opinion. I'm a little weary of Auburn in the tournament. Lenardi keeps forgetting that you cannot put 2 teams to face off in the first 2 rounds that have already faced each other. We'll talk more on that here in just a moment. But Auburn and Yukon can't. I don't know what the hell Lenardi's doing. Must be pounding something. He's got to be drinking something. Iowa versus the winner of St. Mary's Creighton. At this point, I think Creighton beats St. Mary's, but I'm going to go Iowa. I just wish Iowa was more consistent in the backcourt. UCLA, Northern Colorado. UCLA hasn't played in a month. That streak's going to continue to get longer and longer. It's concerning, very concerning, because UCLA is not going to be on the same page, that's for sure. And what? Oh, never mind. Baylor Loyola. Now, Baylor could lose this game. Very well could. I can't trust them to lose. I can't trust Loyola, though. I just think Loyola does not have that same score they did, like with Cameron Crutwig especially. Baylor's backcourt's really good. LG Cryer really leading that backcourt. We'll talk about their game with Iowa State here in a moment when we get to Iowa State. I'm going to take LSU to beat Houston. Well, that's because Houston's not healthy. Yukon and Auburn. They had an amazing game almost a month and a half ago. Yukon won in double overtime. I think Auburn gets revenge. Sorry, I'm kind of itching. Auburn, I think, gets revenge. They're not pleased with how they lost that game. Remember, Bruce Pearl looked like Dan Hurley, the coach of Connecticut. They were getting ready to go to blows, too. They were starting to get into an argument during that game, too, which was kind of crazy. If they met in the tournament again, it's going to be explosive. Iowa, UCLA, I can see the upset. Iowa's all Iowa has to do is get Keegan Murray. It's similar to, like, Luka Garza. This is a lot similar to last year. Luka Garza was the main scorer, forward. He was a forward, of course. Keegan Murray's the main scorer. He's a forward. And then everyone in the backcourt doing their thing. This is way too similar. I don't like that too much. And Iowa's defense, not great. Not even much better than last year. I don't know. There's way too many similarities between this year's Iowa team and last year. I'm not saying Keegan Murray is Luka Garza. I'm just saying, you get what I'm trying to say. I'm going to take UCLA. Baylor and LSU. I don't trust LSU right now. I know they just beat Kentucky, but we'll see. It's not about what you do in the middle of the season. It's about how you game plan the best when it comes to March. Auburn, UCLA. I'm gonna have to take UCLA. I don't know. That's a toss-up at this point. And I think UCLA can beat Baylor. I'm not too fond of Baylor making a deep run this year. I'm just not. I don't like Baylor's interior defense. We're starting to see weaknesses of Baylor come about. So that's going to be something to watch going forward. Again, I'll touch more on that here in a moment with Iowa State. All right, down in the Midwest. Speed things up just a little bit. Before I do that, I'm just going to pick Kansas in the first game there. So like I said, we were pretty much already established. Wow, Marquette's up 16 against Providence. God, did Marquette just, get tired of losing? They sure did. For real, though. North Carolina, Minnesota. I'm going to take North Carolina. I'm not too big on Minnesota. Andy Katz has really hyped up Minnesota lately. I'm like, just no. I mean, I want to see more from Minnesota before I even start getting on their train. I think Minnesota, at best, is slightly above average. That's it. I'm not even too big on them. I'm going to take an upset here. Why not? 12-5. It happens. Xavier did have a letdown against Villanova. Xavier can lose to anybody, in my opinion. I think Xavier can almost lose to anybody, too. But SMU's been scoring a bunch. It can happen. SMU sounds like they got a faster offense if they're putting up that many points that I'm seeing. Tennessee, Oakland. Tennessee almost beat Alabama, and they were shorthanded, too, on the road. That was an impressive performance. I know Tennessee didn't win, but still. If Tennessee plays at least some consistent offense, at the very least, like some decent amount of consistency on offense, but have that kind of production, Tennessee's a pretty deep team, in my opinion. I think they can make a deep run. Their defense, they can play defense. We've already seen that, but I want to see some consistency with their offense, kind of like how they did with Alabama. But they got to close better, though. They do. That's another thing, too. Tennessee needs to close a little better. Wisconsin, San Diego State. How about Johnny Davis? 37 points against Purdue. I mean, wow. Wisconsin just became a threat, in my opinion, to be pretty tough. I mean, Johnny Davis really has brought this team to new levels. I mean, you would have thought Wisconsin would be kind of subpar this year. A bit subpar. Lo and behold, Johnny Davis has really brought this team back up kind of to life, so I like to see them have more scoring depth, though. Him and Davison can't do it all. But you get a couple high motor guys that can do it. You gotta watch out for that. In Wisconsin, they play some defense. Wisconsin might be pretty tough in the tournament this year. I would not be shocked if they made a deeper run this year, to be honest. I'm starting to become weary of them. And Purdue, yeah, we'll talk about you guys here in a minute. USC, I'm not buying. I'm not buying USC. I don't know why they're not ranked number 7 for a reason. They're only ranked number 7 because everybody in the top 5 started losing. USC hasn't played in a month. They've been struggling to win games. There are some games where they have barely beat these okay teams by a few points. I'm not buying USC this year. They do have a defense, and that's it. They have some off. It just depends on who they're facing. But not big on USC this year. I think they're right to be picked off early. Seton Hall, Virginia Tech. Why is Lenardi doing this to me? I'm going to take the team that's been more consistent. Seton Hall. Virginia Tech has been inconsistent, but they have a good defense. This would be a low-scoring defensive drag. Seton Hall plays with such physicality, though. They got to get more healthy, too, by the way. Purdue over VMI? Listen, Purdue. Oh, my goodness. Why is it when Purdue has expectations they can't bring the damn thing home? I don't understand. Purdue, under pressure, struggles a lot. Can't handle that fast guard play, it looks like, either. That's going to be something I keep my eye on. Oh, my goodness. Purdue's defense is not tightened down at all. I've noticed this, too. They're letting some teams score on them. They had this one game against this team that they should have blown out. They let them score 90 points. It's oh my gosh. Purdue, I'm not so sure about you guys right now. Kansas and North Carolina, I think Kansas is a really dangerous team. Baji's got this team rolling. This offense is better than it was last year. There is no question about it. Baji's got it going with the guard play. Remy Martin, a two-way guard. Christian Brown getting things going. McCormick, you get that all rolling. Kansas is a Final Four team, in my opinion. SMU, Tennessee, I think Tennessee wins. My biggest concern again with Tennessee is their offense. Wisconsin and USC, I will gladly take Wisconsin. Seriously. If they play like this in the tournament, Wisconsin is a dark horse, potentially. And I'm taking Seton Hall over Purdue. I'm not joking. Seton Hall can beat Purdue. Seton Hall plays extremely physical basketball, and Purdue hates it when you get physical with them, it looks like, because when they start getting in the thick of it, they start letting loose a bit. So Let's get a little crazy with this bracket. It can happen. Trust me. I still think Purdue's at least Elite 8 material, but lately they haven't been showing me that. And I will take Kansas over Tennessee, although I think Tennessee can win that game, but Kansas, I think Kansas is just more of a mobile team. Wisconsin and Seton Hall. I'm gonna take Wisconsin. I have to, but I'm gonna take Kansas over Wisconsin in the Final Four. That's a tough one. It's a tough one for sure. But UCLA versus Kansas. All right, seems good. All right, up to the East region. Duke handled their own against Virginia Tech, won by 11. Duke, they just gotta stay healthy. Duke's gotta stay healthy. Keep doing what they're doing. Really, we'll see. 8 Oklahoma, 9 San Francisco. It's a toss-up. It's a real toss-up. I don't really know if I could trust San Francisco that much. I guess I'll take Oklahoma. Providence and Iona. I'll take Iona. Personally, I think Iona is probably the team that a lot of people are going to consider being the main Cinderella team, possibly. Like one of the leading candidates of a potential Cinderella team, like just choosing them. And rightfully so. Providence has beaten teams in the last couple games where they're shorthanded. The other team's shorthanded. That's not to take anything away from Providence, but Providence plays scrappy. They don't have a dominant offensive figure on the team, it seems like. It's a more balanced effort, which is great, but yeah, I just don't know. Providence is a little strange to me. Alabama, Abilene Christian. Listen, Alabama's just been way too inconsistent this year. They can beat anybody, but they can lose to anybody. It's ridiculous. I'll take Alabama. Abilene Christian could beat them, though. Texas and Louisville. Listen, Texas beat a shorthanded West Virginia team in any cats. Well, they're the team that they're still not there. I don't want to hear anything else about Texas until they beat a team like Baylor. That's when you can start talking about them. I'm sorry to get tired of hearing how Texas is getting back to form. They beat an injured West Virginia team. Stop it. Oh my God. I'm guilty of this too. Hyping up on a team after one win. I'm not trying to do that with Wisconsin, but when you see stuff, Wisconsin's been proven though. They've done this multiple times with Johnny Davis. Texas, Louisville. I'm going to take Louisville. That's a toss-up game. Villanova, Wagner. I want to see Villanova play a little more consistent. I know they had that really bad dip there for a minute, but, I think Villanova, if they play better again, they get back on track. I think Villanova's just fine. Colorado State, Mississippi State. Like I was talking about with Auburn, Yukon, they cannot play each other in the first round. Colorado State beat Mississippi State. They already faced. They cannot be in the first round together. I'm going to take Colorado State by default. Mississippi State should not even be in this bracketology, in my opinion. What is Lunardi drinking or smoking? Whatever. If whatever it is, I don't want it. I don't smoke anyway. I'm a runner, but who wants to smoke? Seriously. But anyway, we're getting off track there. Michigan State continuing to build that chemistry. I talked about it earlier in the season. Michigan State, I almost called them Chemistry State. Wow. Michigan State, if they continue to build that confidence with this team, I think Michigan State's a dangerous team. Defense is the name of their game. Their offensive output, Tom Izzo, he's got it rolling. We'll see. Duke, Oklahoma, I think this could be closer than some people think, but I'll take Duke. Iona, Alabama. Again, Iona and Alabama should not be facing each other in the second round. I'm tempted to do it. I have a feeling Iona might make a Cinderella run. Rick Pitino has been really working hard at that program. Let's just do it. Screw it. Villanova and Louisville. I will take Villanova. Louisville needs to get their up-tempo offense going more. Or they need to get a more up-tempo offense going. That's what Chris Mack was talking about. They have won back-to-back games against decent opponents. One of them was Wake Forest. Michigan State and Colorado State. I'm taking, Michigan State. I just think Colorado State does not have enough firepower. We're just surrounding cast. I don't think it's going to be good enough to beat Michigan State. Duke's Ionis run. Gotta scroll. Oh, jeez. Gotta scroll up to click. Villanova, Michigan State would be a tremendous tournament game. Would the veteran experience of Villanova's squad or should I say, would they outsmart Michigan State? It's possible. Villanova could beat Michigan State. It's possible because Villanova would pay attention to what their weakness is, and that's getting those easy turnovers. It can happen. I'm tempted to pick Villanova, but they have not been showing me much before they got back on track. I'm taking Michigan State for now. And an Elite 8 rematch from 2019, I'd be damn, I'm picking Michigan State to the Final Four. At this point, it's a coin flip. Listen, Duke has just as much of a chance to make it this far, but I guess I'm hung on Michigan State right now. Gonzaga is going to win the first game. Now, like I said, I'm a little concerned about Gonzaga. Foul trouble with the big man, Holmgren. And they're already going to get off the rails. West Virginia, Florida. West Virginia was shorthanded against Texas. West Virginia could be good. I mean, Florida though. I guess I'm going to go Florida. I don't know. That's a coin flip. I just recently had a comment about West Virginia in one of my videos. I meant to reply to you, by the way, Jerry. I apologize about that. And that's great. You know Taz Sherman. That's awesome. That is really, really cool. I'm sure Taz is a great person. Taz has been playing really well for this team, really showing that, Bob Huggins has talent on his team, really showcasing that. It's a coin flip. I want to pick West Virginia, but Florida, Castleton, if Florida plays their best basketball, I think Florida is better than some people think. But they need to get back to where we were before they lost to, Texas Southern. All right, Iowa State and Murray State. Murray State just beat somebody. I can't remember who it was, but I'm going to take Iowa State. Iowa State's got a good inside game. They really can do the fast break well on the inside. And that was what was keeping up with them with Baylor, but Baylor kind of outdid them on the backcourt. But, yeah, Iowa State could be pretty interesting in the tournament. They'll mix the floor up quite well, so I'm interested to see that. Ohio State over Ohio. Ohio State almost lost to Nebraska, but of course they came up with a pause. So get that three-point shot going more. Ohio State might be in really good shape for the tournament. Illinois versus the winner of Davidson UCF. I am going to take the winner of the Davidson UCF game. I don't care what Coker did in Missouri. Missouri sucks ass, okay? Illinois is still not on my radar at all for anything. I don't really care about Illinois right now. Get healthy and do some things that didn't come back to me. How about that? Does that sound good? 3-seed Kentucky over 14 Liberty. I'm going to take Kentucky. Texas Tech and IU. Look, Indiana needs to get it together. I'm not taking them anywhere unless they get it together. Texas Tech is good. They're good. I think some people are overlooking this team. You do not want to let Terrence Shannon get anywhere open, any bit of open shot. He'll make it, most likely. And then Arizona, I don't know about Arizona, man. I think they may have been just hyped a little bit too much. They did lose to Tennessee. Who knows? I don't know. Tennessee did kind of stifle them with their defense. Gonzaga, Florida. You know I want to do it. You know I want to pick Florida because Florida could beat Gonzaga. It's possible. Castleton will give them problems. Castleton's a senior on that team. He's smart. Trust me. You know I want to do it. I can't. I can't do it. It's just because of Mark Few. But they've got to adjust better in the game. They've been having, for some reason, Gonzaga has trouble adjusting in the middle of the game. They figured it out, though, against Texas Tech eventually, but against Alabama, they could not. Iowa State and Ohio State. Lunari's got all these matchups that are literally 50-50s. Why, I don't know. Listen, Iowa State, from what I saw against Baylor, I liked what I saw, like I said, with the inside points. They're very physical on the inside. Ohio State does get physical on the inside, too, but when you start mixing up the floor, that takes E.J. Liddell out of the equation, and that, to me, signals an Iowa State victory. Then again, though, that's a little bit, too lenient on one thing. But I don't know, man. No, I'm gonna take Ohio State. It's a toss up at this point. I want to see Iowa State face tougher. I want to see Iowa State face more tough competition too. Just so I can gauge their toughness level. But Ohio State, we'll see. That'd be a good one. The winner of Davidson UCF, I think it'd be Davidson versus Kentucky. I'm taking Kentucky. I know they lost to LSU, but I mean, it is what it is. Texas Tech, you know what? Screw it. I'm doing it. Taking Texas Tech over Arizona. Arizona, first off, does not want to see Texas Tech, in my opinion. Texas Tech would shut them down, honestly. Possibly. I don't know, because Texas Tech makes it hard for you to get on the inside, especially, so they're going to make you shoot threes all day long, for the most part. Gonzaga, Ohio State. I'm taking Ohio State. I think this is where Gonzaga... If Gonzaga faces any bit of physicality in this tournament, they are in huge trouble. We saw this against Alabama. We've seen it against Texas Tech. We saw it against Duke. Gonzaga cannot handle the physicality, especially when it comes to getting in foul trouble. Kentucky and Texas Tech, I'm going to have to take Kentucky. It's Oscar Tshiebwe for me. I don't know what it is, why I'm so freaking infatuated with this part. I don't know, or just whatever. I don't know. This sets up a matchup that should have happened a couple weeks ago. Kentucky and Ohio State. And I am taking Kentucky. I know, this has been a weird bracketology. You are probably thinking, geez, Steven, you made this real awkward. I sure did, kind of a little bit. I'm just kidding, no I didn't. UCLA and Kansas. I have to take Kansas. I've liked them more. I know they haven't faced a real tough opponent yet, but they've got the talent. I mean, I don't think it's any secret. Michigan State and Kentucky. I don't know who to pick here. I really don't. I think I'm going to take... God, I guess I'm going to take Kentucky for now. I don't know. In the national championship, I'm going to take Kansas. I don't know. It's difficult because we don't really know what there's a lot of these teams that are just sort of figure out. But yeah, that's my national championship pick as of right now. But I do appreciate you guys watching. No, thank you so much for sticking around for this stuff. If you guys like it, of course, give it a like, comment, subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. By the way, my 2021 year recap video, currently editing it. Probably won't be uploading until later this weekendish, so stay tuned for that. But until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care. Peace.